What's up, Internet? Welcome to Sunday. This is our official heavy metal role playing game stream. We are currently playing AVP. This is our second session with our group of explorers, space explorers. And this is still technically Ogden Udar's first time, which he was successful in. Things are going not as bad as they could for the group. I was actually expecting things to go much worse, but good role playing, you know, saves the day. It usually does. So last we left off, our explorers found out that they are in fact stuck inside of the strange alien place, or at least it seems that way. There's probably a way out. Usually is. This place was definitely built with purpose. It would make sense if there was a way out. But it doesn't seem to be the way they came in. At least they don't know. And in the very last moments, after trying to freeze Zora, did I get that right?
Yes.
From one of the from some sort of what's the word? Not a, well, I guess it technically was a giant shackle. But there's another word I can't think of right now. But after attempting to free her from the giant shackle, just as she was being hoisted up and able to get some purchase with her knee, her face was covered by a very large scorpion-like creature which wrapped its long, throaty tail around her neck, and that's exactly where we left off. So I remember it was Link and our linguist was it Sultan? Sultan. Okay, I was close. Awesome. I remembered. So Link and Sultan are holding up Zora from the shackle, from the restraint. That's the word I was looking at. It was some sort of restraint. And now, her face is completely enveloped by the long, spindly legs of the creature, which is hugging her face. What do you guys want to do?
We gotta find some way to get off the face.
That was really low, guys.
I suggest that you pulling her all the way out of the shackle.
I agree with that.
Strength test, I guess.
No, you're between the two of you. It's just possible. You don't have to roll. It just takes a little bit of time. You are adult men of edge strength and are able to do this. It's not as easy as it was just a moment ago, Doctor, as you notice that her body, well, at first she kind of clutched up in the air as a reaction to kind of try to defend herself, but it was too late. Now, as you're lifting her, you notice that her body is completely limp, and this is only a moment later, but she is completely unresponsive.
I would like to check her vitals to make sure she is still alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do so manually, or you can use an instrument, but she seems to be in a state similar to sleep. Her Heart rate is like completely level. Her blood pressure, everything's like perfectly normal. She's a healthy human being of her age, and all of her vitals are are well within normal parameters, if maybe a little bit low, like she's been sedated.
I would like to check the anatomy of the creature on her face.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you give me a roll for that?
Yeah. $16.
Okay. Being faced with your first your second live alien creature, but this one you have, I mean, kind of unlimited access to. Um, touching it, you see that it's covered in a sticky substance. It seems to have an exoskeleton design. Although the skeleton doesn't seem to be all that thick, it is semi-flexible. At the joints, it is particularly flexible. The anatomy of the limbs is not that different from, say, spiders or other insects. The tail, likewise, although much more articulated than the scorpions, is similarly developed. From what you can tell, there are no evident sensory organs. So you're not sure how it even got to this position. But wiggling it about and looking around in there as best as you can, it is active and alive, and it's not letting you like wiggle it free or anything of the sort. Although it doesn't really seem to mind you prodding at it.
Okay.
I'll face it. I can't do nothing. I'm unconscious.
Want to suggest that we try to remove it to the doctor?
I agree with it.
Yeah, you guys can totally try to remove it.
Do you want to start with the legs, or do you want to start with the wraparound on the neck?
So
I would
the skill that you would need is wrestle, and you can use either your speed. I know you don't have it on your sheet, but you can add either your speed score or your power score.
So I rolled a 6. Darn my nerdy arms.
I rolled a 7.
Sorry, I wasn't completely ready. We started a little late, and I moved everything around to get ready for the other thing. So if you just excuse me one moment. Ogden, you want to tell us what you're doing? What you see in the halls on the Trail of Ash?
You tell me what I see on the Trail of Ash. as I follow.
Well, it's your mythology.
I just I follow in the wake of any like history of fire that I see. You know, if I pass by a doorway and it's scorched, like I check it out, stuff like that.
Okay.
Let the flame lead me.
You guys managed to get your fingers underneath one of the limbs at a time. Sliding, forcing your fingers between Zora, her face, and the long legs that wrap completely around her head, and forcing your hands in there through her hair in whatever space you can make and wiggle around with your fingers and start to pull off the limbs. But as you do so, at first it's hard and you seem to be ignored. The problem that you're having is that it has 8 limbs and you guys only have 4 against it. So you're not really moving it anywhere. And you're fidgeting around and it just eventually manages to like slip through your hands and wrap back around her face. So it's just too much for you guys to handle or peel off, and you don't seem to be able to outmaneuver it.
Save yourselves.
Try and use my scalpel to cut the legs.
Suggest it.
I would like to try and use the scalpel from my bag to attempt to cut one of the legs.
Sure. Yeah, you get a scalpel out and you start cutting it. Let's see. When you do so, it squirts blood. And instantly, Zoltan and Link, you hear a sizzling. And that sizzling is coming from your flesh as you're covered in its blood, and you are now you're now burning. So you're gonna take 10 damage right off the bat, which is really, really bad because you have 15 hit points. And you're gonna take there's more damage to come because it's acid damage and it's damage over time. But yeah, basically as you're sitting there and realizing that you start sizzling, you instantly start to feel a bunch of pain. Your flesh is melting from your face and your chest.
Do we recognize it as acidic?
I would say highly acidic.
I wanna, as quick as I can, look in Zora's bag for some baking soda. Since she's an engineer and messes with chemicals and stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
I'll give
yes.
you. I sped ahead a little bit. You're supposed to take damage on the next turn, not to do this first one. So yeah, I'll get you. I'll let you do that. Why don't you roll for me though? Because it's not your gear, it's hers. So I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you roll find. Hopefully you have find. You might.
No, I have investigation, solve puzzle, have lie.
Okay, so the way the game works is like you can use a skill that isn't necessarily perfect for something. It's just a higher roll that you need, right? So a find, I'd say you need to beat a 4, so 5 or higher. But if it was investigation, I'd say you'd have to beat a 7, so 8 or higher.
Okay. 2, 7.
Damn. Well, you instantly see what's going on. You see he's in pain. His skin is sizzling. He's racked with pain. You think there's got to be a chemical in here that could stop this, but in your panic, you're not able to find it right away. And as you do that, Zora, the next turn, that means you're going to take 8 more damage, and your character is going to be dead. Now, remember, we can backtrack a little because you guys do have luck points. Now, remember, the bad part of using the luck point is that it halves the amount of honor that you've gained from your finds in the dungeon. The good part is you get to continue looking for more. And you can kind of like rewrite history a little bit right now.
That goes for me too. I can.
That goes
Go
for you
back.
too. Yeah. So I went ahead and like let them do the thing because maybe you didn't have to use your point. But if you wanted to go back to like the very end of last session and make that different because you would have had a chance to do it with your luck point, then I'm fine with that. Normally we don't go back that much, but like I said, I kind of wanted to see where this went. So I used a little bit of my, I took a little bit more. And so I'm giving it back right now if you want it.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to be unface sucked.
Sure.
Skinamax.
So how about as you're being hoisted from the restraint device, you will say that you see the creature and panic and fall to the ground as it flies across the air, and all of you are left wondering, what the hell is that?
Do we go back up to 15 health or do?
Yeah, we're just gonna, because we're using a luck point, and like I said, normally I don't go back this far, but I kind of I took some liberties with how that went, so I don't mind giving it back to you because I wanted to see where it went.
Luck point. It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
So- Yeah, now, but you are, so now you are in this room. You're in this chamber with this thing, though.
I want to roll a listening check.
Okay.
Let's see if I can hear it. 7, my lucky number.
Okay, well, as it flew across the sky, because it is capable of leaping a considerable distance, flew across the room, it made a hiss, and afterwards, it made a little plop sound, a gentle plop kind of sound, and after that, you heard skittering little limbs crawling around the floor as it's hiding somewhere in here.
All right. My first thing I'm gonna tell you guys: do not touch those damn columns, so you don't get caught. And I'm gonna get in my bag, and I'm going to pull out. I would hope we'd be smart, and I'd pull out a gun for each of us to attempt to
You
defend ourselves.
You didn't bring weapons. However, you may have found one.
Yeah, my torch weapon. Alright, well, I'm gonna bring out my torch weapon to be prepared.
Uh, Now, when I say you didn't bring weapons, I mean from the shuttle to
Oh,
the
that was
temple.
probably-
But
could have done.
look, I'm just putting this out there, and you absolutely do not have to take this suggestion. But if one of you wanted to use a luck point to say you did bring a weapon, because you don't have to necessarily use a luck point to get out of a bad situation, you can just lose a luck point to turn things into your advantage.
No, no. I'm gonna make the
But remember, you will lose half of the fines that you get. It'll count. So the point is for you to try to maximize the points that you get, right, for the metagame. So if you did that, you would be losing half of your fines.
So I'm going to state out loud. I say we find our way out of here and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure because screw spider aliens.
Alright, well, let's start looking for a door to get back out.
This door's locked.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Kind of open the door.
Furthermore, you can still hear skittering.
Alright, so I need somebody to have their flashlight and shining it around to hopefully find this thing so we can kill it.
I want to roll another listening check because I'm still hearing this skittering. I'm trying to, what's the word?
Pinpoint direction.
Yeah, pinpoint where I'm hearing it coming from inside this room. 9. It's better than a 7.
No, unfortunately, you've lost it. It's not that
So when
big yet.
When can I add
It's
my
not-
extra rolls?
Add your what?
Extra rolls? +1 to rolls?
Oh, whenever you want.
How do
Anytime
those
you want.
work? I just add those to my roll?
You can add them to your roll retroactively. You can add them right now. You can declare you want to add them before. You can add it.
So can I add this
Whenever
roll
you
to make
want.
this-
Yeah, you can add as many of those as you want. They do go away.
I got 4, so I'm gonna add them to this to make it a 13 on the listening check.
Okay, well that means that the tie. Oh, that means you beat me by 1. Sure. Good call. Yeah, you know where it's at. It's trying to make its way up to you between the center columns. It's found some space in there, and it's crawling its way towards you.
I'm gonna fixate my light on it and let Zora and Link know it's right there.
Alright. Grab my weapon.
Sure.
I'm gonna aim to where he's telling me to. And I'm gonna try and blast the hell out of it.
Cool. So your character's attack is terrible. Luckily, flamethrowers have their own attack score, basically, because all you have to do is use them like a super soaker.
Point and
So,
point.
so I happen to remember that the attack for that thing is a 20, and that's what your roll will be. See what my defense is over here. Huh. I think you might have some points, so I rolled a 21.
I have. Let me use 2 of my points to make it a 22.
Yeah. Sure. And as you do so, you spray the flame from the gun, which is really intuitive to use, and it just kind of works. It's spraying a hot blue flame from the liquid, and it pours in between the columns, and it flushes out the entire area, and you hear a screech, high-pitched squeal, and the creature goes running. And as it does so, it runs randomly, not knowing where to go, falling over itself, until finally, at the right side of the room, it curls up like a spider. And it lays there. By the way, Link, this is a specimen for your. This is specimen 2 for you.
So now, because of the trail cam I stuck on one of them, do I see them use a flamethrower in my feed?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Start rolling track.
Okay, go ahead.
12. See if I can pick up their path.
Okay. That would technically be against your guys' survival skill. But it
And I'm
doesn't
gonna
really
leave.
matter because
I'm gonna leave a camera where I'm currently at.
okay.
Yeah, the camera was on the engineer.
Yeah, you guys are still stuck in this room though. What do you guys want to do?
I want to yell out in that weird language I spoke to the alien in and say spider thing. Enemy, my friend. My enemy is my friend.
I don't know if I'd be close enough to hear. You'd have to let me know, Hector. I don't know how far apart we are.
I don't think.
Whatnot.
I don't think you catch sound from the cameras.
No, he said he yelled it out.
Oh no, you're not.
I don't know if
nowhere
I'd be
near.
in close enough proximity. Yeah.
No, it would be impossible right now. You'd have to speak louder than C4.
Yeah, second.
I would like to walk over to the creature's dead body and check its anatomy.
Mm-hmm. As you do so, its blood has leaked out of its body and it's sizzling on the ground. It actually doesn't seem to have taken that much damage, except that it's been overheated. And you can see you're putting it together from rooms that you've been in prior, that maybe this is what caused everything to melt. It is. The ground seems to be resistant to its effects here, but you can tell that it's an active chemical. You probably don't want to touch it. Other than that, its insides look like they've been traumatized due to heat. But this looks more like a pain death than its organs being destroyed. So its organs are kind of still intact. You just got to wait for it to stop being reactive.
So I'll go ahead and inform my team of that I will wait till it is fully deactive and then I will collect a sample from it.
All right. So I want to do my best to walk around this room without touching any of the walls and trying to find hopefully another doorway.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have find?
I do not.
Okay, find's the best skill for it, but you could substitute it instead of just be a harder roll.
Can I roll with her on investigation?
Yeah.
I'm helping her out with that.
3.
6. So you rolled a 9.
I have 6.
With your number over here.
I rolled a 3. I'm sorry.
So you rolled a 6 total.
I don't have find or investigation. I just rolled a 3.
All right, I rolled a 6. 9. All right, I rolled a 14 on investigation. Wait, no, sorry, that's wrong. I rolled an 11. Sorry, I was looking at break code.
Mm-hmm. That's actually pretty good. You put it together. You see exactly what this chamber is for. The slots in the wall let these creatures in. They must be connected to some other place where these creatures are let in. You're not sure what that might look like, but you know that the purpose is for them to come in here. The restraints don't actually look that good. You're imagining that people who, or whatever creatures are restrained here, are probably usually sedated. Because the way that the shackles are built, they're just not they're just not that adequate, right? If you actually wanted to capture somebody, you would lock down their hands and their feet, not just put a giant shackle around them and hope it worked. You probably put together that whoever's supposed to be held here is supposed to be sedated. There probably isn't supposed to be people walking around here that are conscious, or at least not the people intended to go into the restraints. You see and you understand that the plainness of the walls is part of the security feature. They don't want people to be able to get out of here, at least not people like you, who are going to be attacked by these things. And they want you to be attacked by these things for some purpose.
Alright, so those slots on the walls, those are strictly entrance only for the creatures? Are they wide enough that
Yeah.
we could pop
Oh
Or-
no, they're very small slots, and like basically only these creatures would fit through them. And they're also kind of high up, and you probably don't want to stick your face in them, even if you could get up there and might be
Is there any,
that
do
might
I
be
see any,
something that would scare. Sorry, go ahead.
do I see any writing anywhere?
You do, and you actually figure it out pretty easily. And it's on all the pylons, and they're clearly marked. And it only takes you 9 of them, exactly 9 of them, to figure out that they're enumeration. And it seems to be a 9-based number system. The pylons just say 1 through 9. And then it says 9 and 1, 9 and 2. So 9 up to 2 gets 9 plus 9. And then 9 plus 9 plus 9. But they're just numbered.
So I'm gonna roll for solve puzzle.
Sure.
Figures. So I rolled an 8.
Okay. See water here. You don't know. You haven't solved the puzzle with that roll, but you have determined what the puzzle is. Looking back at the door that you came in, there's nothing there. It's a plain wall. So you know you obviously came in through here, but the door was only visible to one side.
Is there any kind of a panel or anything around it?
You think there should be. There definitely should be. The only thing is you can't see it.
Okay. Well, being as the engineer, I'm gonna roll a look so I can see if I can find that one.
Can I roll investigate with her?
Yeah.
Six on investigation.
And I rolled a 12 for a look.
Okay. You see so on previous stories you've seen soot. But on this, near the door, you see a slight discoloration. You assume the walls are metal. They're very solid. They do not move. They're cold to the touch. And they sheen like metal. So everything telling you they should be metal. They may or may not be.
When I
But on
asked
this
the doctor-
particular door, there is a slight discoloration near where you came in.
When I asked the doctor if he could transfer some of that acid blood stuff onto this surface to see if it does anything or has any effect to it at all.
I would like to attempt that.
By the time you do so, the blood is inert. It doesn't seem to be reacting anymore. Its chemical process is done. But you guys did find a discoloration on the door.
I run my hand over it.
There is a slight change in texture. Like
Push it.
a little bit of grit where a perfectly smooth wall was.
I'm gonna push on it like Zora said.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, nothing happens. You
Sheer
did roll look
curiosity.
for me though, and you understand that like sometimes when you heat metal, it changes color.
That was gonna be my
Yeah.
next move.
Cool, thank you.
I was gonna say out of sheer curiosity, I wanted to
Yeah, go ahead and have a point for that because yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
my flamethrower on that one.
Oh, you may want to try the torch because it reminds you of a gas burn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pull out my handheld torch and light it.
As you
And
do
press
so,
it.
before you get to it, a panel opens up.
And what do I see on this panel?
On the panel, you see the numbers that you saw on the pylons, on the bollards, but they're arranged in like a dial pad formation, a block of 3x3.
I wrote break code on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll break code. 6. So I rolled a 15.
You start messing with it, and you're turning on and off some of the pylons, and you can make the numbers correspond to them. And it's not unlike a vending machine, where 99 will activate pylon 99, and 9 will activate pylon 1 or 9, and so forth and so on. And 1-9 or 9-1 and 9-8 do stuff, but in because of the way that things are numerated, you figure 1-9 wouldn't make sense because they have to be 9-1 the way that the 9 pylons are numerated, and you quickly figure out how to use those things really easily. And then you think, like, what would I do if I was a vending machine guy? And remembering that you saw a creature here who had hands like you did, and probably interfaces with this thing the way that you do, you hold down 3 buttons at the same time, and it opens the door.
Okay, so now we're out of the room.
Really nice state.
That's actually how you open vending machines too, by the way. You like
Say-
push
say
the
Take it for
you
a
push the return button and a bunch of buttons, and it lets you reprogram it.
Guys, I'm gonna walk out of the room looking left and right cautiously, but anxiously getting out of the room and beckoning everyone
Yeah,
else to come.
you return to a hallway which is familiar to you.
I'm gonna take the lead in front of him with my flamethrower, so I can take it head on if we run across anything.
Yeah, and now you maybe have a slight idea of what death comes to death means.
Yeah.
Okay, in front of you, in this hallway, the hallway splits off to the left and to the right. You've been to the left before. That was you didn't take all the paths available to you in that direction, but that is where you saw the big guy, the big invisible guy. It's funny, you saw the big invisible guy. And that's where you got specimen 1, the dead submarine-headed black bug. And to the right, you know that if you go right and right again, you can go back to the room where Dev sleeps. But directly ahead of you, you can see the opening to 2 rooms. And because of the way that the lighting is in this place, it's an ambient lighting, and it only allows you to see so deep down. You can't see beyond to the end of the hallway directly in front of you. But you do see 2 doors up there,
Let's check them out.
both on the left and right side of the halls.
I'm gonna say, you want to go to the left or the right door?
I want to express caution about entering any more rooms.
We gotta find a way out. So,
I would suggest we go to the left door.
okay.
Sure. you go to the left door, and it's similar to all the other doors that you've seen inset into the wall. The arch, quote unquote, archway is inset into the wall or protruding from the slight angle of the wall, and it looks pretty much identical except that the writing is different.
I'm gonna look at the writing and see if I can figure out what it says.
Hmm.
So I rolled a 10. Oh, jeez, I thought I rolled a 0. I
Zero
rolled a
is-
22.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because zero's
Let's see.
always
We saw D&D where it says that rolling a 1 was a bad thing.
natural one.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
So you tied. So ties aren't there's different variations of failure in this game. There's like degrees of failure. And this one you just get 2 translations, so you're not sure which one it is. It either says life no more or live no more.
So I'm gonna state what both of those things to my team and say I think if we enter that room, it means we're gonna die. And express again, we don't go in there.
Yeah. We're gonna back away, and let's go ahead and look at the right one and see what we see different on that one.
Sure, you go directly across the hallway just a few feet, and this one also has different writing.
Roll again. Is that a 9?
Yeah.
So that's a 9 translation. So 21.
Okay, that's funny. Another tie. So this one's strange. You do get something out of it, and I mean maybe with weeks of research you can really get it down. But it either says great cheer or glorious cheer.
So on the son's character sheet, where does speak language times 6 come in?
Right, you know 6 different languages.
Okay.
Those are so this is just a role play. This is just a game mechanic. It's not a role play mechanic or anything.
Okay.
You have talents that say speak language, and you have like 6 of those, right?
Mhm.
Is that the one you were looking at in the
Yeah, I was
talents?
just curious. Yeah.
Okay, so you know 6 different languages, and then you also have and you can buy those at character creation for 1 point, and then you have a skill that's called speak language. And because it's harder for you to learn languages when you're older, you have to buy that as a skill. So you only get 3 languages from that, but it costs you 1 point for the first, 2 for the second, and 3 for the third.
Yeah. So what is the writing?
But you can
say
actually
again?
speak. You can actually speak 9 languages.
Okay.
I think it's a glorious cheer.
Glorious cheer.
I'm almost positive that's what he got from it was glorious cheer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna state that to my teammates again and say, well, this sounds better than like guaranteed of death.
Well, let's
It's
go
Hard
in.
to say. Great and happy sound, glorious cheer, something of the sort.
Is the door open or is it closed?
Is there anything on the floor as we're walking around? Anything I could use as a blunt object?
No. There was stuff earlier, but I don't think you could have used that. I mean, the femur that you got earlier might be
Useful if
better
you
than
come
a
across
fist.
panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Were you guys
finger
going to do something in the store?
Yeah. We're gonna look for a panel to be able to try and get inside. So I'm gonna look. I got a meat.
Yeah. This one is This one is so plain that I can't even tell you how plain it is. It doesn't have an orb. It doesn't have marks of heat. Doesn't have soot. Doesn't have anything of the sort on it.
My goggles don't pick up anything either.
No.
Maybe we should yell at it and yell Moadib.
Use your finger.
There's
Try the-
nothing to push it on. Remember, it's a blank door.
Yeah.
Plain door.
What about if you hold your thing, your flamethrower up to it, like it opened the last doors?
Oh, and my torch. Well, going off past luck, I'm gonna try my torch, just all around to see if it does anything.
You start using the torch, you see the slight discoloration that you're creating. It reminds you of the discoloration that you saw where the panel was on the door before. But you realize that doing so, nobody's ever done this to this door before.
That's,
And it certainly doesn't seem to open.
I could try the finger.
try the finger, see if that'll do anything.
I'd like to pull the finger I have in my bag out from the creature I had extracted it from and press it against the door to see if it does anything.
It does not.
Well, if we can't get this door open, our only option
Is the other one.
is the live no more door.
There are
Was
many
the
other
lip-
hallways you have not explored.
Alright.
You know because of the when you saw the big giant invisible guy that you have yet to explore any extremity of this place. You also know that the doors appear to be purpose built and meant to limit access to certain people based on different things.
I suggest we find another
So-
hallway.
So the doors obviously do not always open the same way. Sure. Now that you've moved into this hallway, you can see towards the, if you continue on in that direction, you see that the hallway splits again, left and right. But also up ahead, you can see something different than anything you've seen before. And because it's so obscure, you can't tell from this. Of course, if you looked back, you would see the door from the room you were just in where you saw the big scorpion type creature.
Write that down. So that's that chamber. In the hallway, there's something in front of us that splits left and right. Okay. Well, let's get closer to see what this obscure finding is.
Sure,
Is
you
it-
move
is
on
it-
to the new.
Like covered in soot and
No. 1 second, I didn't have it quite ready. Here it goes. Okay, as you get closer, you see something completely different than what you're in. Still kind of fits in with the ambiance of the place, but as you look inside, at first, I'm gonna have all of you roll composure.
Good.
9.
So I rolled a 10. Is there any skill that we would roll composure against?
Composure.
If you don't have composure, you can use your will attribute.
Will, which one's will?
And the attributes are in the center of the page. Eden, your character is the only one that has composure.
I rolled a 17.
I have
Cool.
a 9.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, you guys are a little shocked at first because you think, oh man, we ran into a room of all those giant guys, and they're even bigger this time. But Link, you realize right away that these things are not moving, and they're actually statues. They think at first statues, but as you get in closer, you see that they're actually high relief carvings. And they are pouring out of the walls. They are holding weapons, spears and blades on gauntlets. And they're about 12 feet tall. And there's about a dozen of them on each side. And they form the walls of this chamber. And at the end of the chamber, there is a door with what very clearly seems to be writing above the door.
I want to see if I can translate the writing. Or do I see the writing too?
Yeah.
So we gotta get close to it.
Translation. 9, 12, was that a 21 again? 21.
I wonder if I can use a sleight of hand on the statues.
Yeah, you start to translate it. And you find that it's actually incredibly easy for you. You understand it very well, except for one word. And you're not sure what this word is. It's because you're able to translate it so well, you surmise that it must be a proper name. And you're like 98% sure that the door reads, "From the furnace did roar Rorog." And that last word you're thinking is a name, a proper name. And that's why you're not able to translate it.
Like actual
But as best as you can
letters,
tell, the symbols.
right? Then like in lettered writing or pictoglyphs?
It's an ancient language, probably some cross between runes and Sanskrit and who knows what. And you're only able to put it together from everything else that you've been finding in here, plus your knowledge of past languages.
Because if it was pictoglyphs, I was going to ask you to draw it.
You're asking what?
I said if it was pictoglyphs, I was going to ask pictographs. I was going to ask you to draw it.
Oh no.
Like,
Good move. No.
Would it be possible if I could use sleight of hand on one of the statues to try and take a weapon?
You can just try. So sleight of hand is literally like a hand is quicker than the eye kind of thing. You could more use it on your friendly characters here to pick something out of their pocket. It's not really like gonna let you flip stone out of stone, which you think that this is made out of. So if you try to grab the weapons, which you're free to do, they're firmly affixed, and there doesn't seem to be a seam while it's carved to look like a seam where they're holding the weapons. And it's carved incredibly well and you're like wondering how the heck did they get in there to get to the roundness of the weapons of the hands. Like it looks impossibly carved, but here it is in front of you. It also, the wall seems to be one solid piece as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Well,
So I'm not gonna be able to pick a weapon, sadly.
And the whole time I'm taking pictures with my goggles.
Is there a panel or any way to try and open that door that says from the furnace? Do we even
Not
want
that
to
you
try
can
and open
see.
this door?
Are there any doors in this room at all, besides the one we came in?
And the
Yeah,
one
so
we're-
the way that you came in was just an arch. And the arch is beset by the walls with the carvings. Up ahead, where you read, there's clearly a door in front of you there. Where you read the inscription, that's clearly above the door.
Is there anything on the
Yes,
floor that I could find?
Not in this room.
Is there an obvious way to open this door?
There are no panels. There are no handles, buttons, anything of the sort.
All right, so essentially this is a dead end for the moment. Shall we go back to the hallway? Not really. Don't want to. Scared.
I want to look around the room more.
Yeah.
Like look for any kind of reliefs or buttons or some sort of mechanism that could open this door. But you're the engineer.
No, there's no machines or nothing in there. Possibly. I'm stuck. Well,
I'm guessing the one thing we could do is just go back out and just go down a different
because all
path.
it is it's these statues and that door.
Solve puzzle.
All right, so I'm gonna listen to this inner monologue voice I just heard.
Mhm.
It's like, no, I think I tried to roll a solved puzzle. What is that? 5, 6, 11.
All right. You do remember that the doors can definitely be opened, and some of them open for strange reasons. But the only reason you could imagine to be here is the reason that you've seen. A big guy like these guys, like these statues, a guy that looks like these statues, but not quite as big. Maybe he's a baby or something. Or maybe they're just statues and happen to be extra big.
Yeah.
But it seems like these guys come here to face death. And you don't remember this guy going to every room, because then you would have ran into him even more. He just went to one room.
I'm going to ask the engineer real quick before we leave this room to hold her torch up against this door again, since it's opened so many other doorways.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you're not sure, and I'm sorry, the torch says nothing, but you're not sure how that guy opened those doors, because he opened doors that weren't even there. And you imagine they might actually be everywhere. But it seems that the doors are intended to let one particular dude into one particular room. And they probably have a thing that lets them in there.
Shall we
And
attempt to
because you've been in the, well, you've also been in the room where you were clearly allowed in, the door that opened up in your presence. So you were one of the things that opens some doors. But those all probably lead to really bad places. I think
What I
maybe
asked
you are
the-
part of this.
When I asked the engineer and the doctor if it's possible that these mechanisms are biologically controlled.
That's probably the most reasonable answer, is that they're biologically controlled.
So we should go back and get that dead spider thing and bring it with us.
Yeah.
I think he has a sample of that. That hasn't opened the door. He's been in proximity to it.
So if we don't open this door and the spider thing don't open the door,
There's really only one other thing that could open it,
and I speak 2 words of his language.
and we don't know where he went.
And I'll give you one more clue because of your roles. You did open a door with a flame that said the flame of purity on it. So while it might not always be the case, it might be the case that sometimes at least, or at least in a vague way, in a cryptic way you don't understand because it's lost in translation. The words could be a clue on how to get in.
What the door?
um
From
the furnace.
Something.
From the furnace did roar the Rog.
Somebody yell at the door.
Or our linguist.
I want
Or-
to yell at this door in this language I've learned. Open.
You think you got it, but fortunately the door does not open.
Hmm.
I'll take my bell. I'll be right back.
So I'm gonna pull out my
Good try though.
flame, where I have my flamethrower, and just aim that directly around the door and see if that will do anything this time.
It does not.
Okay.
I think this room's a dead end for now.
So we're gonna have to find the dude.
Yeah. Wherever he went.
As scary as he was, we're gonna have to find the dude. Because maybe, since he didn't kill us on contact, might be willing to help. So let's go back to that hallway. And let's go to the left.
Yeah.
Okay, so you leave the hall with the statue walls, the high relief sculpture walls,
Yep.
and you turn to the left. Going down that way, you see that the wall on your left is particularly smooth, and while it still fits in with the decor around here, it's not exactly the same as the wall on your right, which is the wall that the kind of walls that indicate that these are rooms. And off to the right, you can see that it's moved on the left, and there's a passage to the right. You already said you went left, so we just move you as you move towards the corner of that room, and that's the corner of the room that said something like glorious sound. You can either turn to your right and return to an area you're pretty sure you've been before, or you can continue forward. But looking to the right, you see plain halls. You don't see entrances to room.
To a street.
I'm gonna go down the plane hall?
Yeah.
Let's go down the plane hall.
All right. Let's go down the plane hall.
Going down the plane.
Oh, so you turn right?
Yep.
Cool. You turn right through the walls, which you are pretty sure are rooms. And now for sure, you realize that, yeah, you've pretty much been here before. Although you've never stepped in this exact place, you've seen it a few times. To your right is a plain wall, and to the right on the right wall is plain, but to the right on the left wall is the room with the door with the scorpion creature, where you found that. Directly ahead of you, even though it's very hard to see because that room is particularly large, you're pretty sure the door where you entered and saw the door said death sleeps, and inside you saw a creature frozen. And straight ahead to the right is where you found the flame gun. To your left, you've never been.
To the left.
And to your left, on the left side, you can see a door. On the right, there is no door.
Is there any writing around the door?
Sure, you guys go that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There absolutely is writing on that wall. You can try to decipher it if you wish.
15.
15. You get a word that you're not sure what it means, but you've kind of seen the other ones before. You're not sure if it says womb or oven, but it either says the womb or the oven burns.
Oh, we don't want to burn, so. Or do,
Door-
or do you think code to
This
open?
door has an orb on it, like you've seen doors before. The orb is covered in soot.
I'm going to brush the soot off with my hand.
Does that orb react to his touch as he's brushing it?
Nope.
Well, I'm gonna get my torch, similar to the last time, and kind of run it over the orb and see if it reacts.
Okay. It most certainly does react. The door opens.
What do we see before we step in there? What's visible at the moment?
Well, I'll give you a look roll.
Okay.
3.
I got 7.
8 of investigation.
I'm going to give you bonuses because you're an engineer. What you see is completely unremarkable. You just see a room and it's pretty dark. It's nothing. It doesn't stand out very much. It is a little darker than all the other rooms. And you don't see anything remarkable, but you're an engineer and you understand stuff. And the carbon smell that you smell reminds you of an incinerator.
So I suggest we don't go in that room unless we want to burn to death.
I say good enough for me.
I agree.
Probably not the best bet. Alright. I'm gonna go back. Let's stay in that hallway and continue on to see if there's another room possibly that we can open.
Yeah, you want to continue in that direction?
Yep.
As you do so, the hallways break off both to the left and to the right. Either to the left or to the right, you don't see anything. The walls, at least these walls, don't seem to have doors in them at all. Up ahead, though, you see that the space opens up and the hallway is twice as wide. And you can see up and to the left that there seems to be a door in that direction in the hallway. Also, on this extra wide hallway, you see over to the right, even though it's very, very dim, there might also be a door in that direction.
We're not having much luck with the lefts. So we'll go into that wider hallway and we'll look at that door on the right.
When you get there, there in fact is another door with another inscription.
Roll for translate.
Yes.
So I rolled a 20.
This one very clearly says, life is born.
Life is born.
Seems good.
Is there any kind of panel or orb on this one?
As you approach the door opens.
I guess this one just opens.
Step in. Step in.
Yeah.
I want to remark that every door that's opened for us has not been a good experience, and ask my team if we should reconsider going in there.
Gotta get out of here, man.
It's worth the risk.
And so I'm going to
Is
say,
it?
Yeah.
we're in some really pretty shit now. I guess now what are we supposed to do?
Oh, by the way, Chris, that was language 3 for you.
Language 3. So that makes 3 languages.
Yeah, I think you found the other. I don't know. I have them numbered, so I think you found language 1. Yeah, you found language 1 and language 2. That's language 3 for you.
All right, so I found 3 languages in.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
You are more than welcome to stay behind. Get with the game.
I'd rather die with a group than die alone.
All right. So let's go into this open room.
Did I say I told you so?
Yeah, I don't know. Should we go try?
Did you mind to?
Yeah, you step inside, and this room is unlike any other. And because of your guys' experience, each of you, being doctors and engineers, space travelers, you know that you're looking at a room full of cryopods. And these are definitely sleep pods, not that unlike what you have on your ship, and they look like they might be way more advanced is the only difference. And as you go through, you see that they in fact have little windows where somebody's head might be to be able to check in on you. And one of the pods is open. There's
pods empty or
yeah, there is 12 pods in here in total, and one of them at the end of the room is open.
Is there anything in the closed pods? As I look in the windows.
They are currently empty. All of them seem to be empty.
So I'm gonna crawl inside the open one and see what happens.
Luckily for you, it doesn't slam closed or anything. But as you do so, there is what seems to be, in words as I can best describe, relating it to human experience, what you might describe as a rodent.
As a
It
what?
is not alive.
A rotor.
Rodent.
And by the
Over.
way, that's specimen 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't remember if you found specimen 2. Yeah, you did. You found specimen
Yeah.
1 and specimen 2 and specimen 3.
So we found all 3 specimens.
Well, there's a total of 6 for each of you, but
I'm like, no, how long? Okay.
I should probably check the index.
but this why you guys could, in theory, spend more time here and try to figure out these pods.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would serve any purpose. I mean,
Is
you
I-
could, if you could figure them out, you could freeze yourself and hope somebody comes to rescue you, but you know that's probably not going to happen.
Right.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
roll for investigation.
Mhm.
So, that'd be 21. Wait,
No, you
No, 5.
Fine.
5. Sorry, my bad. 14. Getting old because I need to take my glasses off like this to see that. So
You
roll
don't think
14
that-
on invest-
You don't think that you're going to see any guys like the big guy you saw earlier sleeping here? You're not quite sure that's the purpose of these things, but whatever's
So I'm
going
gonna
on here, this definitely seems to be part of it.
Are these pods mobile, or are they like attached to the floor? Were they brought here, or were they permanently in here?
They seem very sturdy, and they don't seem like they're moving anywhere, but they don't seem attached in any way.
Can you draw one of them?
Okay, it's just a pod though.
I would just like read it because I'm curious about the window on it.
Sure, grab my.
That's already 3 specimens I found.
Oh, there we are.
I should probably go turn my TV down, shouldn't I?
So that's it. Pretty simple. There's some of the pods in the door where the last one has the door open. It just swings open.
Is there any like writing or panels or anything on these things, or like a panel in the room that controls all of them?
They are very, very plain.
All right. So can on my thing with the machines and the tech, the learned things, would I be able to kind of tinker with one and see if I can get a closed one to open and thing if I roll on that one?
You could try.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna roll on the machines one
Grab your charger.
and 17.
Is that up? Okay.
You look at them and you can't discern any manual controls on them. You do know that whoever built these things is good at hiding their tech. You're not entirely sure, but you imagine that it's a security feature to keep people, or quote unquote people, from fiddling with their things. You imagine that there's plenty of technology either inside the walls of the pod or inside of the walls of the, or inside the door. You're not quite sure how to get to it. You are absolutely positive that if you knew what frequency to broadcast in and knew exactly what to broadcast, you could fiddle with these pods. Just because of all the technology you've seen in here. You know that's the way the walls work. You know that's the way the doors work. You know that's the way these naked pods work. They look like they're absolutely nothing, but they have a bunch of technology built into to the structure itself.
I roll a break code off her roll.
You can.
Was that a 9? So I rolled an 18.
You think if you had, with everything that you have in this temple, you know that you could break this code eventually. The problem would be then figuring out not only the ancient language that these people used to speak, quote unquote people, but then also but then also the language that they use to write their code in. Which you're thinking is either a trinary language or a nine coded language, which might be excruciatingly complex to break.
Gave us some computer skills.
No.
Just typing.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I mean, it'd be a fun puzzle if your life wasn't in danger. It'd be a fun life's work puzzle to figure something like that out.
I suggest we exit the room and continue on.
I use my goggles to document the room and agree we move on.
Okay.
Coming out of the hallway, before you across this extra wide hallway is another door. To your right, disappearing off into the distance, there seems to be a space that will lead you in that direction. But to your right is a wall, and that also seems to open up like there's a hallway over to your right. So basically, as you step out of the room, there's another door in the distance off ahead in front of you. You can go to your left, either more to the left of where you came from, or you can go around to the right or round to the back to the right.
Where we came from, or back off to the right.
Let's see, back off to the right.
Well, there's no point in going back to where we came from because that immediate entrance was closed off, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So the only way out is through.
Okay.
You said you were on your way back, Ogden?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actively tracking them.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, technically, the camera that's on the engineer is just telling me where they're at, right? I could just track the signal.
Did we write that to have that ability?
No, but I see what they see.
Mhm.
And I could go off that to enhance my track.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to find the places they've been first in order to track
Yeah.
them.
No, yeah, I just go back to the last place I saw him, and I start my tracking from there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, where'd you guys want to go? Did you guys want to go directly ahead to the other door, or did you want to?
Should we try the other door?
Yeah.
Let's try
Yeah.
that door.
Let's try the other door.
Cool. Yeah, as you move across the hallway, you see another door, and this one does indeed have writing above it.
Oh, you rolled the wrong one.
Is it the wrong one?
Yeah.
What's it? Oh, jeez, I did that. Eight. So I rolled a 20 on translation.
Yeah, it's a little rough, but from what you can tell, it says shaking the wind.
Shaking.
Yeah. Now,
Like
a word like shaking could be translated all sorts of different ways. So, usage of words changes over time. But as far as you can tell, this says shaking the wind.
Is this door closed?
Yep.
I'm gonna blow air on it.
Doesn't seem to do anything.
Orb or panel. I'm gonna roll a look to see if I see a panel of sorts or an orb. 5.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom.
Tool out of here.
That's not realistic.
You search for a panel, you said?
Yes.
This door and archway. Did you give me a roll?
Yes, it was a 5.
Oh, okay. This door and archway are particularly clean. So places around here have had soot and ash and kind of grime, carbon, a lot of carbon-based grime, stuff like that around the rooms, on the floors. But this door, like another door that you saw, have been particularly clean. And yeah, you can't find any heats, anything that would indicate heat's been used on it. It just looks extra clean, very extra untouched.
I'm gonna roll for soft puzzle.
Sure.
9.
It's only a 9, but you have had multiple successes earlier. So you know that some doors apparently just open for anyone. Some doors open with flame. And some doors you haven't been able to open might open via a different method. And they might also have something in common.
So I'm gonna suggest to the engineer to hold her alien tech flamethrower thing up towards the door. But I'm gonna suggest to the doctor to approach the door also with his alien specimen, biospecimen.
I'll do that.
Alright. Nothing. Oh, there was no heat signature there was heat on there before, so maybe just the presence of the alien tech that I found, the weapon. the flamethrower.
So some doors do react to presence, but your puzzle solver, the clue I've given him is there's probably a thing you haven't used yet, which would probably open many doors. You've seen at least 3 doors speak about this stuff.
Fire.
And to remind you, this door says shaking the wind.
Shaking the wind.
What about the
Fire.
cloth? I still have that vacuum soaked cloth.
You do.
I would like to reach into my bag and pull out the vacuum sealed cloth I have and kind of wave it in the air around the door.
You do so, but nothing seems to happen with the door.
Mm.
Kind of hoping that would do something. But
Why? What can we do? What haven't we used?
I'm thinking,
I feel like it would be something obvious that we have.
it probably is exactly something else.
And just to remind you, because you guys aren't there, but several doors that you haven't been able to open. For example, this one, Shaking the Wind. The other one was Glorious Sound. The other one was From the Furnace did Rog. All those doors have been inaccessible to you.
think of what we can do.
I'm brain farting on something obvious that we could.
I really got a skill that can help here.
And the door's completely clean.
Very, very clean. Unnaturally clean. Everything around here has the semblance of cleanliness, but when you start touching the walls outside, a lot of them are covered in ash and soot. These doors have been very, very clean.
Do we have anything that moves air, that shakes it, like vibrations, concussion?
You're asking me?
I'm asking both of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, other than beating our chests, I'm not sure what shaking the wind would mean. Which I do that anyways, beat my chest. Sarcastically.
Can you give us an example?
Nice.
Oh,
I don't think I have anything in my medic bag to help with
did that open the door?
that.
I shook my wind.
The beating of your chest, unfortunately, didn't.
A fan?
Oh no, that's with Chris blowing on the door. It didn't open.
Shaking the wind, it could translate to something like vibrating the air. And your alien gun was just a flamethrower, right?
Are there any other little buttons on my flamethrower that would do something other than just throw flames?
No, as far as you can tell, this thing has one purpose. And while it's exact, you know the mechanisms by which it works. You don't know how it's accomplishing it because it seems too simple to work.
You try shooting
But
some
again, these
fire.
people are incredibly good at hiding technology inside of what looks like plain stuff. Like you have no idea how much pressure this thing is actually in because of the amount of fire that it spit out. A human container will only be able to do that once or twice. You have no idea how many times this thing can fire or how incredibly high the pressure contents are inside of this thing. It might be pressurized some ridiculous amount of atmospheric pressure where atoms are smashed together in a perfectly uniform solid state, creating high density. You have no idea how advanced the technology might be because you don't know how to open it. Similarly, the way that the doors are hidden, the technology inside the doors, they could respond to anything The walls could be incredibly thin, and it could be 100% technology inside of there. They're just waiting for the right kind of thing to respond to, as far as you can tell.
I'm gonna try kicking the door. Like
Sure.
flat foot. Not like toe kicking, but like flat foot kicking it.
Yeah. I mean, are you trying to like smash it open, or are you trying to?
Just kick it to see if it opens. So power,
Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Just roll damage for me.
Yeah.
The door doesn't move, so yeah. Okay, so damage works the way damage works in this game. I don't know if I wrote down the die you use or just a number. Did I just put a number down?
I don't see, where would we see that?
The damage.
Damage, 2.
It says 2.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is the way damage works. If it was 1, you'd roll 1d2 or a coin, and if it was 2, you'd roll 1d4. And if it was 3, you'd roll 1d6, and then 1d8, 1d10, and 1d12. So,
My D4.
Mhm.
Yeah, 1.
it's not a very effective kick. You're just not that great at kicking. Maybe if you kept at it.
Try again.
Sure. Roll damage again. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, roll damage again.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
I'm gonna ask my comrades here if they want to kick it with me.
Okay.
Do any of them have break?
No, they don't have break.
Okay.
Sheets are real simple. What'd you roll?
2.
2? Do you have touch?
No.
No. Okay.
Why?
I was just curious.
I have a feeling you know exactly what's going on here, and you're playing dumb, and you're lying to us.
I'm asking if you guys want to kick this door with me.
Yeah. Do you guys want to
No.
kick the door with them?
Let's take the
Sure.
door with the maiden.
I rolled another 2.
Roll a
I
1.
don't know if you guys also have damage. You guys have 1 damage, maybe.
Oh, I have
2?
3.
Oh,
I
3.
just have
Cool. If you have 3 total, because you're looking at the total, you roll a d6 for damage.
D6.
just
Yeah.
a cube.
And what was yours, Aiden? Is it the
I
same
just
as?
rolled a 1. I only have
Okay.
yeah, it's the same as Chris's. I only got a 2.
So I rolled a 2, Aiden rolled or Lake rolled a 2, and Zora, she rolled a very girly 1.
So it's a 4.
That's 5.
But when you do that, and you guys all start kicking the door, everybody roll composure.
3.
10.
3.
10.
Everyone except Link, you guys are kind of a little freaked out because the door seems to change shape in front of you, but in fact it's not. To you, Link, the door just vibrates a little, which is very strange. But immediately after it does so, it opens.
Oh. Well, I guess just brute force worked.
Brute force worked.
Yeah,
Let's kick it again.
it's open.
Is it open?
Yeah.
Oh,
Since I'm the most composed one here, I guess I'll walk into the room first to see what I can see.
Absolutely. And you see inside the room is a large chamber. It seems largely empty. However, the walls, from what you can tell, and you wouldn't be able to notice this if you hadn't already seen it, because it's not human blood, but you imagine it's the blood of other creatures which line the room. Also inside the room, just lying there, slightly off center, is a single orb.
I'm gonna pick up the orb and examine it. for writing.
Yeah, the orb is about the size of a plum. It seems to be metallic. It has very small lines through it, which form a pattern around it. Similar to a tennis ball, but instead of being the seams where the ball is put together, it seems to be entirely decorative. And it actually kind of reminds you of the architecture around here. And it doesn't look that different from the walls outside of the rooms.
I'm gonna hand it to the engineer.
And I'm gonna run a decipher use on that one.
Great.
17.
By the way, Chris, I have another point for figuring out the door.
Is it a roll point?
Yeah, so you can add those to your roll whenever you want. And what was your decipher use?
17.
You're not sure what kind of weapon this is, but you are certain it's a weapon.
Maybe a grenade. If it's a,
I'm gonna,
Can I roll soft puzzle on it?
You can.
yeah, boys, I think I know what it is.
13.
You're also not sure, but given that you were given a clue earlier, this door did say something about shaking the wind.
Could be a grenade.
yeah.
A phase plasma grenade with a 20-watt range.
Right?
And engineer, you are pretty sure that this thing is packed with technology, whatever it might be inside.
Okay.
It could be packed with super condensed napalm, like the thing you're holding, or it could be anything really inside of there.
So I recommend you just keep it safely tucked away for now.
I think I'm gonna store it in my pack.
Before she does,
Yeah.
can I ask, is that
Sure.
completely smooth other than those lines?
So the lines are indented, but it is spherical for the most part.
Is it like mechanical? Can you...
It doesn't seem to be like a puzzle or anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have anything that you can actually mess with.
I'm gonna start running.
Okay.
I feel like he as a killer, he probably saw
Oh yeah, he probably saw I picked up one of his bombs or something.
just thought you picked up one of the bombs worried that you can activate.
So I'm going to look more around this room and see if there's any other writing around anywhere. And I want to look at, you said there's blood on the walls and all
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say since you
Oh,
walked off,
yeah.
there's like blood
Yeah.
on the walls.
I kind of heard that part.
You've been solving puzzle this whole time. You know exactly what this room is. This is a room for one of these guys to come in and fight one of those things that you saw over there. And this was probably one of his weapons or part of his gear. Now maybe he didn't make it, or maybe he left it behind.
So I'm going to inform my team. I think this is a kill room.
Should I examine the blood to see if it sneaks?
No,
Oh.
no, we need to leave.
Probably
Sure.
good.
He just said it was a kill room. We need to leave.
Is there anything else in here?
Like I described to the doctor, the only other thing that he's able to identify is blood, old blood. And the only reason he's able to identify that is because he's seen it before. He's seen the blood of the creatures and he knows what it looks like when it turns old.
Yeah, there's no real point in being here anymore.
So I'm going to step outside the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
You
this
step
side.
outside. Far in front of you is the door that you just came from, where the door Red Life is born. Oh, by the way, that was item 3 for your engineer. For the engineer. Um, up ahead of you is the door that said its life is born, where you saw the sleeping pods. To your left is a hallway that either goes back or forward, but it doesn't continue left. That wall seems to end there. To your right is where you came from. And you can either go to the right to the hallway where you came from, or you can continue forward to the door which your engineer most likely correctly identified as being an incinerator room. You can also go forward and to the right between those two rooms, the rooms that says Death Sleeps and the room that said Life is Born with the pods in it.
So maybe you could pass me one of those lights that we had used on our descent. And I could kind of toss it.
Throw a chem light in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just go check out the incinerator room.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to the incinerator room we had come from.
But before we walk in, I'd throw another chem light in there.
Okay, yeah, you return to the room which says the oven or the room burns. You're not sure which one. When you open the door, again, you are confronted by the smell, the clear smell of carbon. Things reduced to their base element. And you surmise that the room is particularly dark because it is covered in coke, which is, if you're familiar, is the finest thing that you can burn something down to, at least by regular means.
I don't want to go in there.
Do I see anything on the floor in there?
Do you guys step inside?
I'm looking in from the door.
Like I said, you can roll look.
There's a chem light on the floor in there.
Yeah. That's true.
The roll. 12 for investigation. You roll look too.
You're not sure how the entire room is burned, but these guys seem to be extremely good at hiding technology. But it's not around the chem light. You can clearly, or you might be imagining it because it's so dark, but it seems to be like texture, a grainy texture. And you know that the entire floor is covered in coke.
All right,
Carbon.
I recommend there we go.
Yeah.
I
I
have
don't-
a healing skill, but
Oh, wait, how are you going to heal if you
Talk
burned.
about being completely distant.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
I don't know. I think that room could be something that if we run into one of those little spider things or even that submarine head thing you found, would be a good way to lure him in there and maybe kill him if we're being chased. So, yeah, I don't want to go in there.
I think if we go in that room, we don't come out.
We're going to walk away from that door again.
Okay. Because you walked up to that door, behind you is the room that you came from. To your left is a plain wall, but you know that that's the door with the figure in the ice. Ahead of you turns either to the right or to the left and continues forward. You know that to your right is where you originally came from. And that would lead you, if you went right and to the left, you would go back to the room with the walls with the high relief sculpture. And if you continued forward, on the left side would be the room where you found the scorpion that tried to hug your face. And to your left you know that if you continued there, that would lead to the room that says Death sleeps with the frozen creature.
Why don't we go back to the death sleeps room so you can shoot that ice wall with your alien flamethrower?
Because we tried that.
Yeah,
It wasn't
You
enough.
didn't use the alien flamethrower with it. You only use that the first time to kill the weird spider thing.
You really want to defrost one of those dang creatures?
We have that grenade in case.
And there's an incinerator.
Yeah. It's worth a shot.
Okay, Captain.
You guys are gonna get us killed. I need a smarter team.
It's worth a shot.
Remember, we're scientists.
We're supposed to explore, discover.
Touch things.
Value your life, then, man. Am I outvoted?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going back to the death sleep room.
Sure, you turn left and you make your way down. Off to your right, you remember that there's as you see the hallway and you see the door on the left side of that hallway, you remember that that's the room where you found the flamethrower. But you continue on to the door on the left wall, and there you remember you see the orb again. No, I'm sorry, this door just lets you in. The flamethrower door had the orb, but this one, as you walk in, just lets you in. It opens up by your presence alone. And when
this
you
room
do, you're in a square room, and having walked around the room, you realize what a considerable portion of the room is frozen. Because when you first walked in here, you thought that there were plain walls all around you. And it wasn't until closer inspection that you saw that one of the walls was in fact frozen ice. And this room is very, very cold. And fog, like when you open a refrigerator, comes out of the door.
Alrighty. Zora, green chili chicken burrito that wall.
I think it would actually be a good idea if you were to pass the grenade to Zoltan and have him prepare it just in case.
But we don't know how to mess with it. It's just
It's a robbing device right now.
Yeah. Okay, just light the wall.
Green chili chicken burrito.
all right. Well, I'm gonna attempt to use my flamethrower on the wall, not the ice wall with the creature.
No, that's what we want to do.
That's what we want to do.
Okay,
What?
you suspect, but your character is pretty smart, right? You suspected before that this flame, in order to melt this ice with a torch would take days. This is a solid block of ice in a controlled environment. It's not you'd have to warm up the room for anything to start happening. And the way that energy transfers, it just doesn't work. Like, you saw what the flamethrower did. You know how hot it got in the room when you used it. And you know that spraying that wall with the flamethrower would probably cause a puddle of water and not much else. Heat just doesn't transfer that well through ice. It's just basic thermodynamics. You know that shooting this wall, even if this thing had 50 charges, which you would be incredibly impressed if it did, you would not make it through that wall. And you just know that because that's the way ice and fire work. Like,
I'm gonna take out that little spherical orb thing. Does it react to the cold in this room?
nope.
Is there a button on it?
Remember, the walls inside are very, very smooth. All the walls inside all the rooms have been very, very smooth and plain. The only writing you've seen inside the rooms were the numerations on the bollards inside of the inside of the room that says death comes to death.
I want to roll a listening check.
Yep.
12.
You smell it?
No, I smell the faint permeating scent of death in this room.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you imagine it, but there might be a slight hum. And you're not sure if that's whatever mechanism is keeping this room cold. But it's so faint you can't tell for sure.
I'm going to put my ear up against the door, like the frame of the door, and listen again.
No.
Another 9. So another 12.
Yeah, there's absolute silence. The only thing you can hear is yourself and everyone else. And you try to catch those moments where everyone's being quiet enough for you to hear anything that might be there. There just doesn't seem to be anything.
Roll a soft puzzle in this room. That's all right.
Yeah.
8. So 14.
You know exactly what this room's for. This creature can be defrosted, and one of those guys comes and fights it, like in the other room with the water on the floor. If he fights it and defeats it, the thing in the floor comes out, or you imagine a thing in the floor comes out, because that's what your engineer described to you.
Okay, so we clearly can't do anything in this room yet, since
I could yell down the hall and youch a frozen alien. Or hear alien.
I don't know if he'd be in range to be able to hear you.
It's all quiet. Sound travels.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember when we were in the other room with him and I told him about the alien frozen in the wall. He seemed very interested and then he left immediately. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to yell down the hall, frozen alien, or yeah. Do a roll? What would I
No.
roll?
No, just you yell as best you can, and
Yeah, yell.
or what you imagine the language is, and but the only thing you hear is your own echo.
Well, we're just gonna go and see if we can find another room to open.
Y'all wanted to come here.
'Cause I thought
Y'all
it was
figured out.
Well, I'm figuring now that you know the tall creature dude is supposed to fight this frozen creature dude in that kill room down there, and then either the dead thing and us get thrown into the incinerator room.
So the So maybe the tall dude is the one that can defrost it
Yeah.
with his.
but we don't know his exact location. I say we just go back to our original place.
So, is there footprints on the floor leading out of this room that we could follow?
Only your own.
Only your own.
Only your own. So this place was completely devoid of footprints. But the floor was slightly covered in ashes, even though it was imperceptible at first. But now that you've been walking around long enough, and your feet are completely covered in ash. It's only your footprints that you can see here. The tread on the tread pattern left on the floor behind is clearly all of yours, and the exact sizes of your feet and shoes. So before that, everything looked completely undisturbed.
So we just go back to our original location and continue from there.
Which original location? And get back into the hallway, because our options are to go back to that wide hallway where it said like life is born and shaking the wind, where we opened the door that way,
the shaking the wind one.
where the incinerator was.
Right from where you're at, if you turn around from the door where Dev sleeps, just a little bit off to your right, almost directly in ahead of you, is the room where you found the flame gun that you have now. Ahead of you to the left is the door that you came from originally when you entered the temple, down the spiral ramp. To your left and back, you haven't been in that hallway, but you imagine it leads back towards the room where life is born. To your right, if you go to your right, you know that leads to an intersection, which can get you to several different rooms. You can either turn left and go to the room where the room where the pylons were, or the room where the incinerator was, towards that way. There's also a room you haven't been to or did manage to open up there.
Let's go.
Let's go back to, you guys want to go back to that room that we didn't open? You say we didn't open it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that door.
Yeah, you guys turn right, and you see to your right on the left side of the hall that's the door where you think the incinerator is. Directly ahead, there's nothing. It's plain. To your left is the room with the restraints, the pylons. But you know, if you continue that way and turn right, it'll lead you to a smaller room that you weren't able to open again. And as you go there to that door and look to your right, looking up ahead, to your left, you saw a door that says Life No More, and you decided not to mess with that one. And to your right, you saw one that says something like Glorious Sound or Fearful Sound or something of the sort.
Let's go to the life no more door now.
The life no more.
It was a pretty good deal.
Okay, yeah. Life no more door.
Sure. What do you guys do there?
Is the door still closed?
Yeah.
All right, what was the riddle on it again? Life no more.
It just said Life No More. You guys decided not to mess with that one, and you also couldn't open the door behind you, which says Glorious Sound.
So I'm gonna roll soft puzzle on it, on the door.
On the door that says Life No More?
Yeah.
Cool.
8, 6, 14.
You're not really getting anything. You're sure it has something to do with what's in the room, but that's the problem. It's either sometimes the door says what's in the room, and sometimes the door says how to open it. Sometimes it's the same thing. That's probably where the confusion is coming in. But I mean, it could be anything in there. This could be a morgue for all you know. It could also be a waste disposal place. There's just no way in telling, and you're not sure how to open it. And you know, these aren't, to you, it's a puzzle, but to the people who built this, quote unquote people, it's just a label. It just says what the door is so that they know what to do. It's the same thing, same way you'd label a bathroom,
Wonder if
whatever
we brought
life no more means to them.
What if we brought the old dead spider thing up to this thing?
Maybe.
Maybe we have to bring something dead up to this door to open it.
You have that rodent too.
You have the
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have those things on you, and from what you can tell, the door should have already responded to you if that worked.
I'm at a loss.
I know. This doors. Because it seems simple. So it says,
Uh,
it should just be.
oh my gosh. I have no idea. We're going in circles.
Because we need to find a way to open at least some door to make some progress.
Yeah.
Because we have many doors we haven't opened.
Be exasperated and just yell expletives up in the air.
Cool, the door behind you opens.
Oh, what? Okay.
They're just like, what the hell?
I was not expecting that door to open just by yelling.
She is Zora.
Yeah, the door that said Glorious Sound opens.
Alright, good to know.
This has got to be a female voice.
Maybe.
So there probably are some doors that are
Alright.
voice activated.
Well, let's go check out this glorious, this glorious sound room. Okay, I'm gonna do a look to where we first step in to take a glimpse around before anybody else steps in. And I got an 8.
So it's not like the kill rooms, not like the other rooms. There seems to be just a small pedestal, and you wonder the way that the room is arranged as the pedestal rises a little bit and is towards the back of the room. If you just meant to sit there,
Should we examine?
and it's only 2 steps before the little seat at the top, where it looks like one very big butt would fit, and 2 smaller steps coming in, and there's only a little bit of the room that is, it's like one long step before you get in, and the first step happens, and then another step like that, a couple steps, and then another level, just a foot higher, until the last little one where a large, very large butt would fit is 3 feet off the ground. Next to it is the only thing that isn't fitting in the room. It's just a mysterious object sitting there. The walls in this room, unlike any other room, are actually adorned. And they're adorned with language.
translate on it?
Sure.
One. Nice. So I rolled a 13.
There is so much language, you don't know where to start. There are glyphs similar to almost every language you know, and many you do not.
What is the I'm gonna walk in towards that pedestal. You said there was something lying off to the right of it?
Yep, there sure was.
I'm gonna bend down and examine that.
Similar to the flame device that you have, this object also seems to be holdable and fireable in one hand. However, its purpose or what it fires seems to be very different from whatever you have in your hand from the previous object. It's definitely a different configuration. The handle is very similar. The nozzle is very different.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. And I'm gonna see about using a decipher use.
Yeah, great.
$11.
You don't see a barrel, which is concerning. And you're not quite sure. Like I said, you do manage to figure out that it's got a similar configuration where this is the part you hold and this is the part where the dangerous stuff comes out. But what that could be, you are definitely not certain this time.
It could be a risky move, but maybe try firing it. Just like at the ground or something.
Can I roll a solve puzzle on it?
You can.
So I try some lead break.
Is that a 5? So 11.
You are able to figure out that it's similar. It's definitely got to be a weapon, but you're not sure what it does.
Well, am I gonna take your advice? You want me to try and fire it and see?
Yeah, go ahead and fire it in a direction away from us.
Maybe not at the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna back up a little ways, and I'm gonna fire it at that pedestal.
Okay. And you do. And when you do, everybody can roll composure.
6.
7.
Thirteen.
7 is 13.
13.
Well, you're all instantly startled because suddenly there's thunder in the room.
Shake the wall.
Luckily, none of you seem hurt, but now all of your ears are ringing. And you realize that as your hearing starts to come back.
So it's a concussion weapon.
And you go, what? As he mouths air at you.
Okay, well, good to know. I'm gonna keep this with me
Maybe you can get on the weapons.
I know.
because on thebomb.com.
Yes, Captain.
By the way, it is item 2.
That's, I think, what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it's like a concussion. All right.
You know, We may not be able to thaw that ice. We might be able to shatter it.
Think that's possible?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're the engineer.
All right, well, if you guys are down for that idea,
Oh,
there
by the
anything
way, Ogden, the halls reverberate with a blast sound.
I follow it.
Mhm.
Obviously, paying attention to the floor and trying to follow the trail as best as I can, switching different vision modes, stuff like that. At a hurried pace.
Where are you guys going?
Back to the sleeps.
back to the damn death sleep room.
Okay, so you go back to the Death Sleeps room. Again, this door has always been open to you. When you approach the door, the cold smog crawls out of the floor and lets a little chill out at you.
Chill out. All right. I'm gonna be smart about it this time since I know what this thing can do. I'm gonna pull out some earplug from my bag. Since you guys obviously want me to blast the freaking ice. And I'm gonna attempt to fire that weapon one more time in there.
Yeah, you do it as carefully as you can, backing up in the room, yourself some distance. Everybody plugs their ears. And luckily for you, besides the very loud sound, nothing seems to happen to the ice.
See, that means we don't need to be in this room. Stop coming back here.
Ogden, as you exit the door into the chamber from where you were before, where you became blooded, much louder this time, you hear another blast.
I'll start running in that direction.
Okay.
We're gonna step back out of that room for the last time, I hope.
No.
Oh, we should go back in there and check something.
As you step out of the room, you've been here before. You know that a little bit to the right, but they're mostly ahead of you, is the room where you got the flamethrower. To your left is the hallway, which you could either turn left, which you've never been, but could guess where it goes, or to the right, and that's the door where you came down the spiral staircase. To your right is the intersection, and from that intersection, you could go to the room which you think is the incinerator, or to the room where you got this sonic, quote unquote, sonic gun, whatever it might be, and the room with the pylons, the restraining pylons.
I say let's go to the left down that hallway that we haven't been before.
Okay. I agree with that.
Sure, you go left and you go to the hallway from which you've never been. As you travel in that direction, and get to the end of that hallway, to your right, you in fact see the place where you imagine the door used to be. Now you haven't been there in a while, but you're pretty sure that's where the door was where you came in, down the very, very long spiraling ramp. But unfortunately, that's gone. You did decide to turn left, and you've never been in this direction before. and you turn left and you continue on. To your left, the wall is adorned the same way that all the other walls have been. To your right, the wall is smoother and plainer, still fitting the motif, but not quite the same. It is similar to another wall you've seen a little while ago, quite some while ago, but it is nonetheless a little different. And you continue on in that direction. You have an opening that goes to your left. You're pretty sure if you go that way, that will return you to the intersection with the large hallway where the room was that said "Life is born" and "Shaking the Wind." But you've never been straight.
So we can either go straight or we can go back to the destination.
Oh, straight.
See?
And as you continue straight, following the smoother wall, the less adorned wall, you come to a corner and there's no place to go but left. And to your left are the adorned walls of the room, and to your right is the plain wall, the plainer wall. Continue on.
Mhm.
As you continue on, to your left comes an opening, and that opening is very wide. And you see to your left that the rooms, both the room that said "Life is Born" and the room that said "Shaking the Wind" are there. Now, you could turn left back to those rooms, or you could continue on straight. And you've technically never been there.
Let's continue on
Yeah,
straight.
straight.
You continue on straight. On the right side, again, the wall is smooth. On the left side is the wall that all the rooms have. You come to a corner, and it turns left again. You guys continue in that direction?
Is there any
There's really
writing
no
on
route.
that? You said it was adorned, but is there any writing? Like
So-
anything I can make up?
The decorations look very similar to that of the grenade. They're just lines. They move in different directions. They definitely don't look like writing.
Counting numbers?
They just look like trim. It's just space trim. And it might be part of the process that they use to fabricate these things.
I keep
Some of it is
documenting.
clearly decorative. But I mean, I don't know what to call it, space deco.
I keep documenting and recording those.
So you guys, I mean, you can go back or you can continue forward.
Continue forward.
I'm going to say we're still go forward.
Yeah.
As you continue forward, the wall to your right is still smooth. It opens up to the left, and the more adorned walls, you're pretty sure if you continued that way, that would lead to the intersection where you can get to the room with the incinerator, or the room that says "Shaking the Wind," or the room that says "Life is Born." You've technically never been straight.
Go straight.
Yeah. Go straight.
As you continue straight, again, there's another passage to the left. And you know, if you go to that passage to the left, you'd be able to get to the room where you think the incinerator is. Farther down that way is the room that says "Dev Sleep." You could also get to the room where you found the pylons with the restraints. You have been here before, as is marked by your treads. However, last time you were here, you were coming in the opposite direction. You turned right.
I'm going to talk to him like a big old circle.
And you're pretty sure you have at least traveled the perimeter of this wing, at least this side. You think you have a sense of everything that's gone that way. Now, you know, if you continue forward, to your right will be the walls of high relief sculpture. and to your left will be the rooms. The one that said "Life No More," and the one where you found the sonic device.
We haven't figured out anything with that.
But again, directly forward and to the right will be the room, 12-foot tall sculptures holding the weapons in high relief wall.
You want to go in there? And
Yeah,
see?
Yeah, since we still need to figure out what's up with that door.
Yo, Victor. Victor's in the chat.
Okay, yeah, we're
What
gonna go back
up?
into with the sculptures.
Yeah, when you return to the room with the sculptures, again, a dozen soldiers on either side lined the walls, 12 feet tall, holding their weapons, immaculately carved, and it had what is clearly a door marked with an inscription, which you are rather certain that you have translated correctly. Again, the door says, "From the furnace did roar Rurog."
So you know there's a furnace room, right?
Mm-hmm.
The store says "from the furnace."
What if there's something in the furnace room that's used for this door?
What if we take some of that coke from the floor and throw it at this door?
Oh, do you Zoltan, do you want to give me a list of the languages you know?
List of languages doesn't say here.
Yeah, I know they're kind of there for you to make up.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Because I think you know 9 languages.
So you want 6 or 9?
I think you know 9.
Because I think that's a good idea, is going in the furnace, getting like maybe a bag of that ash, and then just throwing it at the door. I'm sure we didn't put that together.
Okay, so English, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, Wayland Yutani corporate code, Yautja spoken, Yautja glyph system written, xenomorph behavioral pattern language, ancient Yautja ritual dialect, and synthetic and AI communication protocols.
Where'd you get that list from?
ChatGPT.
Yeah, no, that's way too useful, man. That's metagaming. That's bad metagaming. You've all been doing
What is
good
it?
metagaming so far. That's way too much.
So go realistic then.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
that's that would be game breakingly useful. You could just
All right, let me.
know
So, okay,
everything.
so obviously English, right?
Mhm.
All right. Would I say partial Yautja?
So that's the language you're trying to deconstruct by the use of all other languages. So it's not appropriate for you to take Yautja as a language.
So English. Let's go with Wayland Yutani. So yeah, we'll go with Chinese. Stick with Chinese or Mandarin. Sorry, Mandarin. Let's go with realistically here. Like what would you call it? So like Egyptian hieroglyphics. What would you call that?
I'm not sure what you would call it. Probably be Egyptian. What did they write in? It wasn't Phoenician, right? Am I making that up?
Trying to think of the name.
Can't remember the name of that. So let's space that for now. So there's that's 1, 2. That would be 3. Let's call it Egyptian for now. Arabic. Aramaic. Is that the right one? Like the old dead language from that region? Would be Aramaic.
Hmm. So yeah, this just says ancient Egyptians spoke Egyptian.
Yeah, it says they spoke Old Egyptian or Middle Egyptian, Domitic, and Coptic.
Hmm.
Final stage of the Egyptian language used from the 1st century to the 17th century, which incorporated Greek elements. Greek would be a good one.
Aramaic, still spoken today, primarily among Assyrian, Chaldean, Syrian Christian communities in the Middle East.
Let's go with the ancient Sumerian. Not really a computer tech, so I don't think I would know binary.
Latin?
Yeah, Latin's a good one. I was actually thinking that one. I was just trying to think of these. Ow, gosh. I'm trying to put myself in the headspace of before we got here. What would you call computer code? Since my character works with the AI on the ship.
Binary?
No,
No?
I don't think AIs go by binary.
modern ones are, but I don't know.
I don't know if they do or not. I don't know.
Not what you. I mean, that would be more to like a solve puzzle thing to like be like formal logic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not necessarily its own language. You're just kind of built that way.
Go with this one. Also, Mayan, ancient Mayan.
Is Aiden still with us?
Yeah,
he's
I'm
right.
right.
He's right.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You just,
Sorry.
I was like, where have you been? Yeah, okay.
There's the ancient Mayan. There's the Egyptian. What else are there pyramids?
How many you got?
That's 8.
Just need one more, huh?
And so do I put the learning yautja as number 9?
No. Like I said, that's the 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 official canon of the universe is that Yautja is a mother language, or it might be several mother languages. So it's the only opportunity you'd have to study it is from Earth languages, trying to put them together.
That's what I'm figuring. Since I'm able to like speak 2 words at a time, understand 2 words at a time with the creature dude. I'm trying to justify what the language is known.
I was just wondering if you got lucky. Because if you got lucky, I'd give you stuff, but just for fun.
I need one more. All right, so we got Middle Eastern culture, South American culture, ancient cultures of different types.
Oh, the Hindi.
Yeah.
Would that help?
What would you call it? Indian language, not Native American, like Indian from India, Hindus.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do a lot of pictographs. And
Might be Hindi?
Hieroglyphics, whatever. And
I was
just call it
thinking Hindi.
now?
Yeah.
All right, so that's Hindi.
All right. I was hoping it'd pop up, but it would have been a cool clue. I could just say like, yeah, that's one of them for you and do it, but It's just more fun this way. Have it random. But then I was like, well, I don't want to cheat you if if you happen to pick the right language and you for that word for us, it might be a clue for you. So, um, so that's all I asked. Sorry for sidetracking everyone there. But you guys are in the room with the high relief statues at the door, which says, what was it from the furnace did roar rog, and
So you wanted to go back to get some of the stuff in the furnace room?
Yeah.
It couldn't hurt.
Alright. We're gonna go back to that furnace room and get a little bit of what was it called? The
Coke.
Coke?
Coke.
Coke?
Coke, from
Like
El
Coke?
Salvador.
Ew. Okay.
no, not like the mouse.
Oh my god.
I think I don't remember how to spell it, but that is how it's pronounced. It's if you burn something down to like a really fine grit and soot, it's called coke. It's like you can burn food down to it. I don't know if you've ever burned something so bad that it just turns into a fine black powder. That's what that is.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go back to that furnace room and collect a sample of that so that way we can bring it back to this door.
Go ahead to go in that room to get it though.
Just stick your hand in there and you ain't gotta go all the way in there.
I feel like that would be a job for me since I have all the
Yeah, you do
containers
that,
and stuff.
doctor. You go all the way in there. Well, say it.
You want in the room?
Barely. I'm gonna step barely past the door.
So as Link's going in the door, I'm wondering if these doors have like motion sensors, kind of like how an elevator door does. It won't close on you. So I'm going to very nervously stand in the doorway as he goes in.
Yeah.
Once I get
Sorry, go ahead.
once I get within the room, I will pull out a little beaker from my bag and collect a sample of the Coke on the floor.
No problem.
So you take that and let's head back to the door marked from the furnace.
So
Yeah, and as you do so, the door slams shut behind you, and a roar happens, and you can feel heat emanating from the door.
Yeah, good to know.
Okay.
So it's safe to assume that standing at the door kept it open.
Ogden, you are running around looking at these tracks, and they're just kind of going in circles all over the place. And this is why you are a little bit lost, but you do have a camera. Unfortunately, you've never been to these rooms before, so you're not exactly sure where they're going. And I'll give you the correct row is focus.
All right. Ten.
10. Not terrible, but unfortunately, all the walls look the same. And if you knew where the furnace was, you could go find it, no problem. But you've never been there, so you don't know. And again, all the walls and all the doors look the same. And picture isn't clear enough to read the doors. And even if you knew what the doors said, you wouldn't know where they were.
I wouldn't know where it was. Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to. So you are running around looking at all these footsteps. There's places where the footsteps are cleaning the floor because there was ash there, and there's places where The floor is being dirtied with footsteps full of ash. And they blend into each other perfectly. And they kind of go around in circles all over the place. And you're wondering what the heck is going on with these guys.
I have a 2 memory, and I also have recon. So I will systematically search. Like, you know, like the clean prints, like, all right, I don't have to backtrack here, and then like,
That's
you know,
not
kind
a
of,
clue.
I know, but just kind of like build the map in my head.
No, you could totally nail it. The S16 track.
Possible.
You know, I mean, if you can do it.
It's a possibility.
If you can do it, you can figure it out.
No.
Nope.
Roll 10.
Cool. Good for Team Hades.
Yes.
Wait
For
for me.
now. And I'm obviously purposely not treading on their tracks.
All right, so you guys have collected some coke, and you're guys making your way back to the room where the highly relief sculpture is, and the door says "Roars, Rorog," correct?
Yeah.
And you do just that. You've collected the coke. You make your way back to the room.
Did this door have an orb on it?
It does not. The door is plain. The door is eerily clean. Like I said, the walls are pretty clean, but on really close inspection, you found burn marks. You found things that was so uniform that it looked clean at first appearance, but in fact wasn't. But this door and other doors that you found have been pristine. This door is pristine. It is very, very clean, and you can see your grimy fingerprints from where you've touched it before, marring its perfect cleanliness that it used to have.
So I'm going to put some of the coke on the door.
And you do, but nothing happens other than you putting coke on the door.
Well, because from the furnace, do you think? I don't know. Did we try fire on it already?
I don't think so.
I believe you did.
And I know that seems like an obvious.
And in fact, the door would have,
Oh, yeah.
because the door is so pristine, it's actually easy to tell that it has the residue of butane left on it from where your torch has touched it. Pretty sure. Do you remember, Yuli? I'm pretty sure they tried fire on the door.
I think so.
Well, if you didn't, you could try it now and nothing would happen. So either way is fine.
Well,
Hey, Zora, try yelling again.
True, maybe that'll work.
okay. Well, I'm gonna yell another expletive up in the air because I'm frustrated because we're stuck.
Are we stuck?
And you do, unfortunately, the door this time does not open. However, so I'm going to have you roll silence. I don't know if you have that skill, but it should be based off of health. I need Gina, Zora to roll silence for me.
10.
Okay, good effort. Ogden, you hear a yell.
I go towards it. Full speed. Well, full predatory speed.
Whatever that might be.
14 stealth.
Okay.
And I start ninja hoofing it.
Yeah. For the time being, I want to take a closer look at these statues with these weapons and see if there's possibly anything we can use.
The most common weapon is the spear. Amongst them, they all also seem to sport blades upon their gauntlets, and some of them are holding other more exotic weapons. However, the weapons are piece of the statue themselves, built into the wall, carved out of the wall. While they are very convincing and very well built, and look as though you could pry them free because of how incredibly detailed the statue is. They are, in fact, on closest of inspection, part of the wall.
So there's no
I wonder if we should go back to the life no more door.
the life no more. What would you suggest we do?
Put some of that coke on, because I want to say that that door had an orb on it. So I remember there was a door that I think there was a door that we couldn't open, but that had an orb.
Yeah, and it's not far. It's you just have to turn around and go there. It's straight behind you,
Let's go.
Let's do it.
and on the hall to your right is the door that says "Life No More."
Is there an orb on that door?
There's not.
I'm gonna put some of this coke on that door.
And you do, but the door does not open. Do anything.
I might have lost it.
Yeah. I haven't got a clue what we could do to open a door.
I really think we need to go back to the death sleeps room.
No, I don't. We're not going back to that room.
I mean, like literally. So think about it. If you think about all the inscriptions over the door, they all kind of spell out a path, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that that ornamental room with all the statues in it is the exit. But I'm thinking that thing in the ice room needs to be killed before we can go through
Yeah,
it.
'cause maybe we'll get something from it.
I don't know. It's everything in here seems automated, and I think that thing in the ice needs to be killed somehow, either let out and killed or let out in general, in order for us to advance. I
Yeah.
really do. I think that's what's locking this in place.
'Cause we haven't been able to open any other doors.
Yeah, because the room started. A spark begets a fire. Death sleeps. Death comes to death. All burnt to ash. The life no more. No more.
What's up,
I tried to
Jukiholic?
keep,
Cool.
yeah. I tried to keep them all in some kind of order.
There was like the victorious yell or something like that.
The glorious cheer.
Then there was the wind one. You gotta
Yeah.
shake. Where we
The
just
shake in
it.
the wind.
Yeah.
Life is born. And then from the furnace.
Well, it seems point A to point B to me.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're missing a couple point B's.
Just curious, Yuli, do you know the answer? You know how to open the door?
The answer to what? Which one?
To open the door? They're trying to.
Which-
You guys, either one, Life No More or From the Furnace, Roar to Rog. What would you do?
The life no more.
If
The
you
life
wanted
no
to
more.
get
I'm
in
not
there?
sure. I would guess the furnace one to.
No. From the Furnace, Roars a Rog. It's not the same room as the furnace. What would you do? Just curious.
Okay, so from the furnace roars, I would guess the sonic weapon.
You know, we didn't try that.
Oh no, we didn't.
Roars. That'd be my guess.
We could give it a shot.
Matter.
What's the worst?
We can give it a shot. We can give it a shot.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Or if you want to give them any clues, go right ahead. Although I'm not sure they're watching the Twitch stream, but Yuli, if you want to, I think Yuli, are you watching the Twitch stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How bad
Let's see
they're
if
being made fun of.
Juki Holic messes with you.
I know. All right. So let me try this.
Yeah.
That concussion weapon there at that furnace, from the furnace door.
Yeah, absolutely. You can totally shoot that at the door, and it opens up right away.
Heck, I'm
Hallelujah.
giving myself a point. No, I'm just kidding.
What do you? I don't know. Yes, ask Team Hades if you deserve a point.
That was a damn good clip.
Yeah, I think he does because that was. I don't think we would have figured that out.
No.
Go ahead. Then.
Nah. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
That does seem like a good place to end it.
All right, Hector, it's 9, my guy.
Cool. Thanks for showing up, guys. That was our session today. Juki Holic, thanks for messing with me a bit. Maybe next time you come in, you can totally run an NPC for me. But yeah, that's been our stream. We will be on next week. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
we'll be here.
You guys want to do
Cool.
the same time?
What do you want to do, boss?
Yeah. Same
Yep.
time. Same time.
About 5
Cool.
or
5.
5?
5. So what's that? 5. Okay. All right.
5 is 5 your time.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Let's set an alarm this time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. That has been our stream. We'll be back next week. I'll be back during the week for some more art stuff. Watch your sugar intake. Have a good nice time. But most importantly, stay metal.